Hi, welcome. In this video, I'd like to talk about the line, okay? When it comes to being able to pet your dog, okay? Once your dog's already gained a level of control in the relationship, okay? Once you're already experiencing behavioral issues, but again, reconciling your role, okay? In that, understand that in terms of, making certain connections, connecting dots. It's understanding in terms of dogs as pack animals, as social animals, why it is that it's really important to understand the role that we play when it comes to changing perceptions of dogs. So again, this is where, again, when you start to look at those who are struggling the most in the relationships with their dogs, you're going to see people who are overly emotional. Now, here's the thing about even reconciling that. If you didn't care about dogs, okay, have an emotional connection, you wouldn't have a dog in the first place. So that's not to say that isn't a good thing. I mean, that's great. However, okay, understand the issue about depth. Okay, I talk about the issue about nature, what that translates into, okay, how that's interpreted in terms of relationship. Understand that once that level of emotion starts to hit a certain level, okay, this is where it becomes a problem, because again, I just always consider the parenting example as a reference point. Okay, it's very helpful in terms of looking at the parenting styles. And I talk about this whole permissive. Okay, and then here's the thing: not to say that people who are struggling in the relationships with their dogs are permissive parenting. Okay, that doesn't always line up that way. Okay, but again, if you're looking at a way to kind of understand or reconcile your role, if you look at the permissive parenting dynamic, okay, you'll start to make certain connections. Okay, you'll see it. You see causation. You'll look at, the selfishness of a child and the attitude of the parent about a lot of things. Okay, very similar with how it kind of plays out. But again, to answer that question, okay, where's that line? Well, again, in terms of now, facing a reversal situation, okay, where training is really a type of intervention. And so I talk about interaction-based, okay, why it's so important to follow interaction-based methodology. The way you want to see petting, okay, is you want to see it the right way. Because understand that when you're petting your dog, you're looking to gain something from that, but also you're probably assuming certain things about responses that typically aren't true. Okay, and dog doesn't sit down, come and stay. A lot of people want to advocate, okay, reward the dog for those responses. But understand that, when you're like 5 minutes into a relationship problem, do you honestly believe that you can trust appearances that way? Absolutely not. Okay. And again, but what that happens is it kind of keeps people in this kind of cycle where, they're filtering everything through emotions, and then the dog sees that as weakness. Okay. Because leadership has to be emphasized and influence needs to start to take hold. And you can't be leader and emotion. Okay, they follow a different way, different path. And now that influence is now needed to reverse the situation, you want to look at the fact that you're taking stress off of your dog as a replacement for you petting your dog. Because understand, when you're petting your dog at that point in terms of relationship problem, that's for you, not your dog. Okay, I joke with people, you've gotten too much fun out of it, okay, too quickly that way. Now you got a problem on your hands. So, but again, it's not about being mean to dogs either. Understand, when people tend to look at things a certain way, then they have a difficult time, especially, again, I talk a lot about reconciling the reactions or responses of dogs. That can really be a problem, because now you're like, dogs gonna have a certain reaction to how you're interacting. They have to reconcile those things. So my encouragement to people is really consider the parenting example for a foundation. The line, I'm not saying you can't pet your dog, but you have to be aware that you're reversing, okay, a relationship problem. So that issue about connection is very, very important. And so you want to really make sure you're doing it at the right moment. So typically you want to interact the right way first, bring your dog into a state of relaxation the right way, and then make that connection. But don't overdo it at first. Just understand it's about connection. Okay, not about starting to really layer up petting that way, not too much emotion. Then want to exit leadership too. What that means is you'll see me do the push-pull for a moment. But again, check out my videos. It's very helpful to understand this, because here's the thing: is I want people to be successful. Ultimately, I want people to be successful in their relationships. And so, although this can be a lot of hard information based on what's popular, it's definitely the way to go forward. Thanks for watching.